in this video I just want to go over some of the things that you can do to help your hair. As you know, most guys will lose some of their hair, if not all of their hair, especially so if you have the genetics for that. So if you have the genetics to lose your hair, a lot of times people will lose their hair by their mid or early 20s, sometimes even earlier than that in extreme cases. But, you know, the sooner that you catch it, the better off you're going to be if you're going to be proactive at, you know, slowing this thing down. And there are things that you can absolutely do to slow that down and to keep your hair and your skin and all these things healthy. It's not complicated, but it does require you having to change your dietary lifestyle and your lifestyle in general, really. A lot of it is in the mind. You have to stay proactive. You have to stay positive. You can't get so negative and beat yourself down because you're losing your hair. You can't curl up into a little ball and, you know, in your room with the lights off and feel like the whole world's crashing down on you because you're losing your hair. You can't let it affect you in a negative way. You have to live with what you have and make the best of what you have. And realize that there are things, natural things out there that you can use that will benefit your hair and your body. So some of the just simple things that you can do that I have found to be successful for me is number one, saw palmetto. I know a lot of you think that it's probably a scam, but it's not. I'll tell you what is a scam. Argan, Rain, all these hair loss companies that charge you, you know, hundreds of dollars to buy their products that claim and that they're going to regrow your hair in this amount of time, or that they absolutely will cure your baldness. These are outrageous claims that actually are not true. If there was really a hair loss cure or a drug, you would know about it. But that doesn't exist. What does exist, though, is natural foods and herbs and things that have been time-tested and shown to be helpful in these conditions, whether in regrowing hair or slowing them down. So one of the ones that I've used for a really long time that seems to have been very helpful for me is saw palmetto. But it's got to be a good extract, a supercritical CO2 extract, which brings out the highest yield of the saw palmetto berry, makes it most effective in your body. And you can get a good one from like Jarrow Formulas for like $10, 80 caps, you know, on iHerb. I can put the links down below in the description box for this. But I've been taking it for years, and I haven't had any bad side effects or anything like that. Now, everybody's different, so if you find that it causes you side effects, just don't take it. It's as simple as that. But it is a natural food that people have been using for hundreds of years. The Seminole Indians in Florida have been using it before modern man. So, you know, it's something that is good for you. It's good for your prostate, if nothing else. And it certainly helps to address the underlying cause. Well, science thinks is the underlying cause of why people lose their hair, if they're genetically prone to that. And it has to do with this 5-alpha reductase enzyme that converts your testosterone in your body into DHT, or dihydrotestosterone. And dihydrotestosterone, if you're genetically susceptible to this, attaches to the hair follicles on the top of the head and shrinks them, suffocates them until you don't have any hair on top of your head left. So essentially, you know, what you want to do is you want to stop that conversion, or at least help to balance out that conversion. So you don't want to totally get rid of DHT because it's very important in your body. And I want to stress that a lot, that it's really, really important in your body. It's just, you want to have these hormone levels and things balanced in your body, and saw palmetto is really good at doing that. Unlike these synthetic artificial drugs like Propecia that are very damaging and cause irreversible side effects. sexual side effects, which I'm sure most guys don't want. Like, if it was me, I would rather, completely be bald than have permanent sexual side effects, and that's certainly something that I would really stay away from, and definitely go the natural route, because that's what seems, and in my opinion, the evidence shows to be most safe. Then there is Hishu, which is a Chinese herb, which has been shown to be really, really good for your hair. It can help maintain your hair color. It can bring back natural hair color. It can darken your hair color. These are things that Hishu does. It's a very powerful antioxidant. It's very anti-aging. It's very youth thinning in your body. It revitalizes you. So that's something that you can look into and you can take as well. The other thing that is really good that I take is nettle root extract. And nettle root extract kind of works the same way that saw palmetto does, just in different mechanisms. But that also helps to basically boost your testosterone levels, kind of decreases estrogen levels that can become dominant in men, which you don't want, because then you take on feminine characteristics. And testosterone levels typically start declining after the age of 30 or 35. So nettle root is really good at, keeping those levels good and healthy, because they have a lot of benefits. I mean, that's what makes a man. It keeps you lean and toned. It gives you your energy levels. It's important to have, it gives you that zeal, the pump, to take on the day, more or less. It gives you the drive, and the stamina to get through your days, especially when things are stressful. So you have that. And I would say those are like the top three. And then I would think that MSM is probably number 4. Your hair is mostly made up of protein and sulfur, and most people are deficient in sulfur today, MSM, because they don't get it in a lot of the foods that they eat, because most people eat a lot of cooked foods and they're not drinking raw milk, which is one of the most abundant sources of MSM, actually. So if you aren't drinking raw milk, if you aren't, eating raw eggs and things like that, you should really supplement with MSM. And even if you are eating raw milk and all these different foods, it's still good to supplement with MSM, because it's very valuable in your body and it really does do wonders. So you have MSM, and those are like the 4. If I was gonna have like a regimen of things to take every day, I'd probably try to stick to those 4, because that's what I've been doing for many years now that I started this YouTube channel. I've had a lot of people in the past tell me that I was going to be completely bald by the time I was 27. I'm 27 now, and I still have hair on the top of my head. Now, granted, you still may lose your hair gradually, but it's not going to be at this rate that is happening really, really quickly year after year after year after year. Because, see, if you eat a healthy diet, like I'm talking about, if you take these good natural herbs and supplements, they're anti-aging. They help slow down aging processes. And think about it, guys. Even if you have the genetics to go bald, those genetics are only going to express themselves over time as you age. Now, if you can do things to help slow the aging process down, then you're going to slow the expression of your genetics, in particular your hair, is what we're talking about here. So if you can eat things like blueberries and take goji berries and vitamin C, and take all these different things, and then couple that with helping to deal with the mechanisms of losing your hair, you can put together a really good strategy, like I've talked about here in the channel, to help combat this problem. Now, I don't know what the success rate is going to be for everybody out there, but I do know that it's been effective in my particular case. So it really does seem to work for me, and but that's really what you have to do. You have to eat a healthy diet, and you have to take herbs and supplements, drink water, get lots of sleep, get some exercise, and that seems to be the best strategy that I know of to help this. And, there is no magic bullet, there is no special cure, there's nothing like that. What it is it's about being healthy, and it's about taking care of your body, and that's the truth. You know, there's a lot of people out there making a lot of claims. There's a lot of people out there that want to scam you. And as you know, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not selling any products or anything like that. I'm just recommending, giving good advice for people that are interested to want to take good care of themselves. And that's all that you can do. I can't promise anybody any particular results. I can't promise people that they're going to grow their hair back. I can't promise you guys anything when it comes to that, because each body is unique and individual. But you can take the principles that I've talked about and apply them to your life and hopefully reap the results. But I do know one thing: it's a lot better to do all this stuff that I'm talking about than it is to eat McDonald's and sugar and cookies and cakes and pies and chips and all these different things and take drugs every day, because that path will lead you down to disease and suffering. If you really want to prevent those things as you get older, you got to take good care of yourself now while you're young, and you'll be thankful for it while you're older. Because you know what? I've talked to a lot of older people that were drinkers, that were smokers, that ate a lot of bad foods and all this stuff, and they wish that if they had been younger, they would have done things differently. And you should take wisdom and their advice from these older folks who have already lived life. So that's what I would say to you guys. And at the end of the day, life is more than your hair. And if you find that you aren't attractive because you don't have hair, then that's something that you need to deal with in your own heart and in your own life. And you need to realize that it's mostly vain, and that people shouldn't judge you by whether you have hair or not. And if some girl judges you because of that, then obviously she's probably a pretty shallow girl, because you shouldn't base your love or your feelings for someone dependent on whether they look a certain way on top of their head. So that's the bottom line here. And hopefully this has been a good, encouraging, motivational video for you guys. And with that, if you like the video, please like, favorite, and subscribe.